Slocky, man, just hopefully we're to check the stream right quick. You know, you saw me taking a hot minute.
Is it called with you? Last time.
Yeah. That's all right. We'll just hop into it. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
And with brothers, man, come back at you, Lord will, with that edifying lesson. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who very well, very beautifully. Double citations to the Akim Iron, pushing this gospel of truth and sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. And that's 144,000, right? The true prophets of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai in this time, right? Standing stiffly for the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, right? And the 1/3, which would be made up of men, women, and children of the nation of Israel, right? That's the elect, right, of the nation of Israel, man. You know, so peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
That's right, man. Shalom, peace be unto all you believers, man, who are tuning in. Right, the mercy and grace of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, who's only beloved God's Son, Yahweh Shai, coming back with another sit-down lesson. You know, man, joining back with the beloved brother, man, Quan Walk to my right. And, you know, ultimately, man, the title of this lesson is going to be New Year quotations, saying judgments. You see, because really, you know, we're coming into, we're coming further closer to the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, and you still see the mentality of these people. You know, they're truly in the same mentality that they were in the days of Noah, man. Right, their heart, pursuing Genesis, the 6th chapter, the heart of man was continually evil. Right, and they were continuing to draw further away from the Lord and His ways. And that's what we're seeing today, man. That's why we're seeing more judgments take place on the earth. Okay, so these people are in the mentality that a new year is going to come. It's going to bring, you know, good things, and they're going to be able to make these changes, become a good person, get that good job. But reality is that prophecies are taking place, and we're getting further to the time of the end, right? And all these people in the mentality, everything's going to be new. The judgments are still coming, and they're still the same, man. And you got a precept?
I'll read this first.
Okay, go ahead.
The second Edges 15 and verse 1. Mm-hmm. It says, in the header on this, it says the prophecy is certain.
Whoa, hey, you see that? That's the spirit, man.
Yeah.
Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That's right, bro.
That's right. It says, and if we can grab that word, I know this one.
Certain?
Yeah, I want to grab that word too, but I'm going to read this verse. It says, 2nd Edges 15 and 1, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm. See that? And the Lord has put, you know, his words in the mouth of his prophets, right? And that's really having the testimony of Yahweh Shai, is to have the spirit of prophecy, man, to say things that are going to come before they happen. Okay, that's a divine gift that the Lord gave to the prophets, man, and dished them out, you know, to his people, the Israelites. And that's the same thing the Lord's doing in this time, man. Sending his prophets, his people, the Israelites, man, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, right? Those you other respected tribes and you Israelite foreigners, right? This message of repent, right, and turn back to the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son pertains to you, not the entire world, okay? But part of us, you know, calling unto you is warning you of the judgments that are coming, okay? So that you can ultimately escape and not get caught in. You know, that's why we're trying to do our duty, our calling the relationship, because we don't want to be caught in the judgments, man. You know? You find something?
Yeah, I want to look at the word, because it says the header for this chapter, right? And this is the 1611 KJV, so it's got like break little headers on it, right? So it says this prophecy is certain, and you go to that word certain, it says placed beyond doubt, determined, fixed.
Wow.
You know, and then you know, lately, and just to bring it as an example, you know, an analogy, or not an analogy, again, an example, right? I've been talking to, you know, I do rideshare, you know, here and there, man, and a few people, man, they talk about sports, and one of the most things that people are talking about per person, right? They'll always bring up the same, you know, it'll always lead to the same point in the conversation, right? When talking about sports, is they believe that these sports games are fixed, which means what? That no matter what, you know, however the game goes, right, it's already predetermined that what? That this game is going to go a certain way. It's fixed. It's already set in stone.
That's right.
Before the game is even, you know, played, They already know who's going to win. They already know who's going to lose. Yeah. And they'll ultimately make certain things happen in that game to go make it go that way. And well, guess what? The Lord has these prophecies fixed, right? He has them, as scriptures say, Habakkuk 2 and 3, right? The prophecies yet for a time. Need them set for a certain time or a period in time. That even no matter what you say, new year. A lot of people, right? When I was doing right share yesterday, right, going into the so-called new year, and that's the reason why it's also called the new year, right? Quotations, because everything's dead here. This isn't the true new year, right? The true new year starts when spring starts. Around springtime, and when the plants are coming back into life, everything is basically being renewed. That's when the new year starts. We're in the middle of the fucking winter time, and people are calling this new year.
Right? The Lord told us, right, that the month of Abib will be the first month unto us.
That's right.
If you go into that word Abib, it goes into the blossoming, pretty much the time of spring when everything comes to life.
That's right. A beautiful point, man. But nonetheless, right, people got in this mentality of new year. It's 2024. Hopefully, everything's going to get better. Hopefully, they're in the mentality of believing that the year is going to get better than it was last year.
Exactly.
As that sentiment is, every single year these people go into the new year, man. They believe that the next year is going to be better. That nothing, all the stuff that was done, that's going to be the end of it, and it's not going to, it's just going to go away. But that's not the case. These prophecies, they have an appointed time.
That's right.
And the Lord is going to still have those prophecies, and the build up to those prophecies still take place, man. No matter what the fucking number says on your paper when you get it, or no matter what your date says when you pull it down from your phone, it doesn't matter. Those are really just numbers. At the end of the day, and even then, they're wrong numbers because we're not even in. Though even when Esau says the time period that we're in, we're not even in that year.
Yeah.
So it's ultimately just bullshit. It's deception at the start, man. Yeah. But I'll read this again if you want me to go back to
it. Second Israel?
Yeah.
Can you grab me Habakkuk? Actually, I'll grab that Habakkuk. Can you grab me 2 Peter 1 and 19?
Come here, right here.
Come on. We're going to hold that and grab this Habakkuk. To back you up, this is Habakkuk chapter 2, right? And verse 3 in the NLT. It says, this vision is for the future time. For a future time, it describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. And that's the same thing these people said. It was prophesied in 2 Peter 3 and 1, or 2 Peter 3 and 2, man. They shall say, where is the promise of his coming? Right. They say, oh, well, how come the Lord hasn't came back yet? Or how come things that they're talking about haven't happened concerning the collapse of American society, man. Right, in the transition from a digital, from a cash society to a cashless society. But see, now people are starting to get scared because they see things happening within society that's leading to what we were saying.
Right.
Really, from my elder apostles, okay, which just goes to show you, right, that the prophets are back on the scene.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? The prophets are back on the scene, man, and you can't do nothing to remove them. You see? Keep going.
Go.
Or it's like you can get that yet.
All right, this is 2 Peter 1 and 19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place unto the day dawn, and the day star arise in your hearts.
You see that? And what was the first thing? So we have a more sure word of prophecy. It goes back to that word sure or certain, which is what these prophecies are, man. And can you grab me Isaiah 34 and 16? Because nothing that the Lord has prophesied has ever failed or not come true. You see, even when the Lord sent Jonah to prophesy the downfall of Nineveh, well, it didn't collapse, until a lot later. But it still happened, man. Okay, Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. All these ancient kingdoms that are written in the scriptures were actually kingdoms that ruled. Okay, and they were alive in the Medo-Persian Empire, right? The Greeks, the Romans. Okay, but they all failed. And we're at the fall of another one, man, which is America, a.k.a. Babylon the Great. You see? You got it, bro.
Can I get this precept?
Yeah, go ahead and get your precept.
This is Numbers chapter 23. And so I'll get there right quick. It's Numbers chapter 23 and verse 19. It says, the Most High is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. And it's beautiful too that it made that comparison, because when you think about men, right, men will sit here and say that they're going to do something, right, and then end up not doing it. You get men are the ones and make a goal and not reaching that goal, right? Because of certain things ultimately change the circumstance, right? Rather than it just changing the way you approach it. You know what I mean? That's man. Men don't stick to that goal so that outside forces come in from doing what they were doing. The Most High is not like that, right? The Most High, no matter what it is, really first and foremost, he controls the circumstances. He controls, the limits and so on and so forth. So really, the Lord has already made it, easy for him to accomplish what he needs to accomplish, man. So he's going to accomplish it, God, let me finish this. The Lord is not going to lie. He's not going to bullshit, man. The Lord is forever righteous. It says, Numbers 23:19, the most kind of man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good? Always. That's the answer. That will be the answer. The Lord, when he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. So when he says he's going to bring forth Jacob's trouble, well, guess what? The Lord ultimately through the Spirit put on, through his Spirit, put it on Apostle Tahar, his prophet, right? To say that this year, Lord will, is the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, man. So it just proves to you that actually when we're talking about Jacob's trouble this year, we're still talking about Jacob's trouble. Matter of fact, we're closer, man.
See, people should really be afraid of that, man, because you know what I'm saying? It's really the duality to it. Knowing that Jacob's trouble is coming against 15, you see, it's going to be death everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're doing what we have to do now, so we can have a head in that day, right? The law of exemption, being exempt from judgment, right? See what I'm saying? But then, it's also a beautiful thing, the kingdom. So, seeing these prophecies is a beautiful thing. But see, the people in the world should be afraid because they've been living this whole time while the Lord gave them grace. They've been living in sin. Even some of our own people, man, 2/3. So they should be afraid of the fact that Apostle Tahar made that decree. Because if they listen and follow this, man, you would notice a pattern that every time the Lord puts a spirit on the demon, what it can be, what he perceives through the spirit, what he says happens. That's how you know he's sent, man. You see? You got it, bro.
Colin, you want me to go to Isaiah 34?
Yeah, can you get to Isaiah 34:16?
Colin, it's Isaiah chapter 34:16. It says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and weep. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. From my mouth it hath commanded, it hath gathered them.
That's right. And you got the Apocrypha in there too. St. Ezra 16:35 off the chart. See that? Because it said none of these shall fail. I mean, what? None of the prophecies. Okay. When we're actually seeing that in real time, the things that our Lord said 2,000 years ago what happened are now happening in our time, which tells us what? We're in the last days, man. Okay? And if you're in the mentality, new year, new me, we got to handle our responsibilities in the world, man. Not just completely give up just because we see it's the end, still taking care of what we got to, but also tending to the work of the Lord. You see, because these judgments haven't changed. Go ahead, bro.
16:35.
Yep.
Here, this is verse 35. It says, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake.
See that the Lord said, receive it, man. You're saying James, receive the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls, man. You see, believe not the gods of the world whom we spake. Go ahead.
Verse 37, it says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Right. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
See that? So the plagues aren't slack. meaning they're not going to be delayed. That's what we're reading in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, man. Although it may seem like it's taking time, when you really start to examine and read these articles and different events, like just even today, what was it, that earthquake in Japan, man? 7.6 magnitude. Now, if I'm not mistaken, brother said that wasn't the only one. So coming into, and even if it was coming into a new year, that's an omen, man.
Yeah.
That's an omen.
And if I may say, because it's beautiful because the Lord brought both sides of the fight right to them. Because what happened is an earthquake happened, then they got flooded, and the flooding took out some certain buildings and shit got caught on fire. So the Lord was just, he was tearing their ass up, man. You know? And I have an article on that too, which Lord will, we can get into maybe later or possibly on another lesson, however. But hey, the Lord was tearing them up, man. And they're saying like maybe what it was like 6 or something like that, maybe more people have been killed, and 97,000, people have been displaced from their homes and shit like that. It's not nothing small, man. 92 or 97,000, I think it was. But yeah, man.
Well, check this out, bro. NDTV, Japan hit by 155 earthquakes, 13 dead, mostly over magnitude 3.0 since Monday.
Wow.
The meteorological office, and there's another one says 5 earthquakes within 9 hours throughout California coastline. Is 9.
Wow.
Woo!
Yeah, it's called warrior.
See, what else? What can we say? You know what I'm saying? You either gonna believe it or not. And you better get in that boat, because if you don't get in that spiritual ark, just like if you wouldn't get in the ark in Noah's time, you would have gotten caught up in that flood, man. That's something.
Yeah, I just want to grab this too. This is 2 Edges 9:1, and then we'll drop down. It says, and he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest a part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, and the Lord's doing just that, man. You could literally read in Isaiah 29:6. The Lord, sending out the pillars, the fires, pillars of smoke, the earthquakes, and many other, judgments listed in Matthew the 24th chapter. We're in 2 Edges the 9th chapter, and so on and so forth, man. We're seeing all of these signs happen right before our eyes, man. And this just said when you see a part of these signs. Right, that's a small part.
Yeah, it's a part.
Hey, but we're seeing them all.
Yeah, the beginning of sorrows, man.
Yeah,
it's the beginning of more to come.
And I just want to read this next verse. It says, and here's the point, verse 3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that even from the beginning. We were literally looking on inside headlines. Remember, Slacky, Zero Hedge, and it said that because of these the student loans being resumed or having to pay it, you got people that are even talking about doing a student loan debt protest, man, because they're not able to pay, for their student loans, right? It's over 40% of the people, right, that stayed in that article at one point or another, right, whether it be now or even, since or prior to the stoppage, right? 40% of people have not been able to pay their student loans. So that whole thing of stopping and paying the loans, that helped them to a certain degree. Yep. Now prices are going up, and now you want to attack them again? And this is at the same time where the IRS ultimately had gathered up. It broke all records of every year that they were taxing people. This 2023 was the most that anybody's ever been taxed. They brought in $4.9 trillion in taxes. Damn. And what's funny is because $4.9 trillion, damn near all that went to Ukraine, Israel, so on and so forth, man. You're paying in all those taxes, but yet it's not going to you people. It's not going to anything in America, All these construction companies and infrastructure companies that are working around the clock, they're having to go into their own pockets, right, in order to pay for these things, man. Even those that are of the state has to come out of their own pockets, man. So nothing's really getting done, man. The Lord's tearing this fucking place the fuck up, man. Not just here in America, but the whole world, man. You know,
that's why the Lord said the city of confusion is broken down, man. You see, because matter of fact, can you get that real quick? Isaiah the 24th chapter. And you can start where it says that around like the 12th verse. You see what I'm saying? Where it says the joy of the land is darkened. Because that's really what's happening now, man. Because I just seen a video this morning, and it was like a compilation of different videos of different people on social media talking about everything's just not the same. It's more concerning Christmas too. That like times are just harder. Like what are we supposed to do? These people are at their wits' end, man. You see, so as times get harder, these people are gonna start to rebel. Okay, you gotta.
I'm gonna start with just a few verses.
Yeah, come.
This is this whole chapter is fire. When even the header on this chapter, it goes the doleful judgment of the Most High upon the land. That's heavy. This really this whole chapter is fire, but I'm gonna start at verse 8. It says the mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoiceth ended, the joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with strong. It's like they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. And that's ultimately because, again, like, yes, these people are hanging on to New Year's, Christmas, this and the third, is because throughout the work week, they're not able to spend money because they saved it. You know, they're not able to go out and do this and the third. Again, you have some people right there that are up there in class that are able to go out and do that too. But the average person ain't able to do that. The average person, right? The presents that they did buy, even trying to celebrate that shit was down, man. Right. You know, significantly, man, because everybody's feeling that fucking pressure, man. Lord ain't playing. All that shit's going away. You got a lot of these like the arcades. So when I was born, where I was born, man, Oregon, you got the nickel arcade, man. You go in there with a bag of fucking nickels, man, and play games all day, man. You know, but you can't do that. A lot of them shits are being shut down. That shit's going away. Yeah, you see man. At one point, at the beginning of this pandemic, at least around me, you saw a lot of these liquor stores and stuff like that. Right, a lot of that liquor was off the shelf. Why? Because people were buying it. Now you look at it, there's a shit ton of liquor on the shelves, man. You know, that mirth is going away, man. And the closer we get to now, 2020, being the year that the Lord redeemed it, right? The hopeful year, of Jacob's trouble, you're gonna start to see a lot less of that mirth, man.
Just look at this too, real quick. This is Google. I just put in job layoffs. It says United Parcel Service layoffs 2024. It says massive layoffs are coming in 2024. Google layoffs tech giants to cut down 30,000 jobs. CNBC, over 100,000 workers were laid off from tech jobs this year. You know what I'm saying?
Was 1 week ago, yeah, 23.
Yeah, these are all weeks. You know what I'm saying? So, what did you say? That the grinders shall cease.
Yeah.
When the windows shall be boarded up. Didn't you just mention that? Like,
yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happened eventually, just like they did in the pandemic, man.
Yeah. I'll keep going, verse 10. Here's your point. It says, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, and no man may come in.
And what's the city of confusion? Right? Hey, ultimately America, man. Seen as when you go into the root word of Babylon, you get involved, which means confusion. Okay, the land without any order, pursuing Job 10th chapter, man. You see, so this place is slowly being broken down from the inside out. And so are the people that dwell in the land are being broken down too, through the different GMO foods. I mean, they've been spraying so much the past few days. It's like you can see the thickness in the sky, man. It's like a haze, and it just falls down. We're being killed, bro.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? So these people are being hit on all sides. You see, the thing is, we're being hit too. But the Lord sustains us, man. Everybody else, he just let get consumed by the device of Esau, man. Yeah, you got it, bro.
And if I may say, like, remember we were driving last night, and it was late last night too. We were just driving, the streets were empty, man. You can see this, like you were mentioning, that fucking thick cloud smoke. You know what I mean? Basically over the city, man. And I told you, I was like, hey, man, if you go up and take a picture, you see a big ass fucking gray, brownish cloud over Arizona, really over America, over the world, right? Those that are doing this shit, man. Yeah. You would see this big because of that smoke. And it wouldn't be too far fetched because we understand that Esau's he is as death. And I'm not saying this is gonna like he's doing this now, but I wouldn't be far fetched if Esau put something in that gunpowder that is sitting in the air people are breathing in, man.
And as soon as you say that, the fireworks went off.
You know what I mean? So it's like, come on, man, it's spiritual too.
Right.
You know? But I got that oh, so one more verse on here? Yeah, I'm gonna read that one more verse on your verse.
You got a precept?
No, verse 12. No, verse 12. It says, "In the city is left desolation." That's like it. Verse 11. It says, "There is a cry for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone."
Yeah, the mirth of the land, the joy, man. You know, constant videos of people giving testimonies all over this wicked ass land, talking about everything's just not the same, man. You know, you even see it too when you go out to like bars and stuff. You can see people are like really down, man. And this is like their last, you know, attempt to have some type of joy. But really, it's really an attempt to, you know, pretty much run away from reality, man. These people don't want to, I mean, they know the shit's going on in the world, but they don't really want to believe that society's going to collapse. And, you know what I mean? But little do they know, the elect is praying on the ones who the Lord listens to on this earth. They're praying that the Lord does these things. You know what I'm saying? We're not of this world, man. That's why, you know, the only time I was telling the brother, man, only time I feel joy when I'm around brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? Having this truth gives me joy initially, but being around brothers as well. That's all we got, the truth and brothers. You see, but these people don't got the truth or real brotherhood. These people getting backstabbed and done wrong and, you know, being scammed over, left behind, forgotten. You know, we got a great treasure, man. That's why seeing everything the way it's happening, we got to get ready. And because the Lord has had us know these things, and we're going to be held accountable. We're really being held accountable now. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said, "To whom much is given, much is required." The Lord requires a lot out of us who believe because we've known what the Lord's going to do. But how do we move the same way as these people? Right? They have the same mentality as them in these last days. You know, brothers constantly saying, you know, coming into this year, we're taking ourselves more serious. Taking this truth more serious, taking your Habashim outside more and more serious, more fear. Right. New year, same fear.
Yeah.
You know, you got it, bro.
Connors, you want me to go back to anything?
Yeah. Can you get Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 9? That is 42 verse 9. You know, because the Lord gave us an advantage to be able to escape these things. He warned us. But see, the Lord didn't allow for everybody else to understand the warning. They heard it, but they didn't understand nor take heed to it.
Isaiah chapter 42, verse 9. "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them."
Yeah, before they spring forth. You know, everything that the elder apostles on down have been saying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim outside are getting ready to happen. The MOTB is getting ready to be made mandatory, man. Mm-hmm. Right? Somehow the grid's gonna go down, lights gonna go off. Okay, FEMA camps gonna open up, persecution is gonna take place. You know, these are things that should be going. You know, you should be thinking upon, man, and not to fear, because the Lord said, "Fear not the things that thou shalt suffer," but just having an understanding that this is reality at the end of the day. You go to get your job, you get your money, you pay what you got to, but this is reality at the end of the day. You know, all this shit's temporary, man. Your job probably gonna lay you off at some point, especially if you don't want to get the Karakma. You gotta go.
Yeah, I got precept. You know what I mean? Really, because it's really about just taking heed.
Yeah.
You know, brothers have also been saying, right, just at the same time that they've been saying, you know, hey, you know, it's time for, you know, self-reflection or self-reflection. You know, it's time for, you know, just again self-examination and so on and so forth, man. Just really taking heed, you know, to what, you know, is being said.
Right.
You know, that's a pivotal message that's being going out, and if you ultimately don't listen, right, to that message being put out, because it's through the spirit of power, how about shot, you know, then ultimately what's going to happen is you're going to be put to death, man. You know, the Lord is not playing with nobody, man. There's no ifs, ands, or buts with the Lord. It's either you do what He says or you fucking die, man. You know, that's the time that we're in. We should be thinking like that. And if I don't do this, I'm gonna die. If I don't listen, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
You know, that's the time. That's the mentality we should be in. But I got this too. This is Ezekiel 33 and verse 1. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of the people, and say to them, when I bring the sword on the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, because that's what's happening, right? The Lord's saying what? Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. How does he do it? He warns you, right? Through the mouth of his prophets, right? Speaks through the ministry of the prophet.
Oh, that's the spirit.
What is that? Yeah. Go ahead.
This is Hosea chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets.
So there you go. Yeah. So Lord tells you. That's how he tells you, right? And they do it in the fashion of a warning, you know, in the fashion of an exhortation, in the fashion of admonishment, you know, and so on and so forth, man. But it ultimately is boiled down to the same thing. It is a warning. The Lord is telling you, you know.
That's right.
But I got this right here. Again, here's the point. Verse 4 says, Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. So it's at that point, it's on your head. It's your fault. And this is why we sit in here, right? Because we don't want to be responsible, right, for other people. We want to be responsible for us and our families. You know? That's it. Right. Scripture said, every man shall work in his own salvation with fear and trembling. You know? You people are making your own decision. Your decision is to what? It's to not take heed.
Yeah.
Therefore, you're going to have to pay for what you have done. You know?
It's going to catch you like a trap, too, really.
Yeah.
And really, we're trying to warn you in a trap. That's why I have this precept. This is Proverbs 1:17. It says, surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. Mm-hmm. How you going to trap an animal, right? You know, you're going to trap the deer. You set it up making eye contact with the deer.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't going in there.
You're saying this. You're saying this for somebody else. But it's funny for you.
He's like, he must think I'm stupid, man. That's why usually, you know, when you set traps, you do it in secret. You know what I'm saying? But then that's how Esau worked too, because he's a hunter. You know, but nevertheless, it's set in vain for us because we see the trap and it's like, man, that's just vain. Now we're avoiding it. Whereas the 2/3, they're just walking right into it because they have their hands over their eyes, man.
That's right. That was the point.
What else is on that?
Yeah, actually, I'll read the next verse. Verse 5, it says, he heard the sound. I'll read verse 4. It says, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come, and that sword is symbolic for, you know, many different forms of judgment that the Lord is going to bring, right? So again, you're saying new year and hopefully things get better, but the Lord is going to bring those same judgments that he said he was going to bring.
Yep.
You know, they don't just go away, right? You still have people in Portland, Oregon over there, you know, be getting very sick and even dying, right? In a lot of cases, right? Because they got, you know, human fecal matter being spread all across the cities, man, just like they have in California, right? Skid Row and stuff like that. It's just out there in Portland is a very bad situation right now, man. You know, that's the Lord bringing plagues upon the world, man. Mm-hmm. You know, people are dying because of these certain diseases and so on and so forth. The Lord is bringing, man. Right? That's part of the sword, right? The sword also is Esau, and as well as it's also the ICBM of nuclear missiles, man. But again, it's symbolic for many different forms of judgment, man. Right? That's right. And this is what you're being warned of: is all the different judgments the Lord is going to bring. Right? It says, it says that if the sword come and take him away, his blood be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul.
That's the key.
That's the key. You have to take heed, man. And this is what brothers have been pushing, right? We understand that 2024, right, is going to be a heavy year. Brothers, yes, you know, we're going to talk about prophecy. We're going to talk about, you know, the things that are coming and really what you need to do, right, in order to prepare for that. But at the same time, right, as we're telling others, right, we need to also focus on ourselves and say, hey, it's time for us to examine ourselves too, right? This is time for us to, you know, reflect, you know, and prepare ourselves, right? And the only way we can do that is by taking heed to the message that's being given out, you know? Because that wouldn't make him a true prophet, right? If he was to tell people but wasn't to take heed himself, he'd be a hypocrite at that moment, man. Yeah. Scripture say the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. Every time, the prophets, right? The Lord raised up a prophet. The Lord took care of that prophet. You know, yes, there are martyrs, all the disciples and stuff like that. Apostles ultimately got put to death. Hey, but at this time, the Lord is going to do miracles for them. You know, He's going to do miracles for them in this time. Why? Because they're taking heed, man. They were taking heed back then. They're going to take heed again this time. That's right. You know,
the Lord. Hey, what did the Lord say through Samuel? He said, "Obedience is better than sacrifice." Man. That's right. You know, He said that to King Saul at the time. But nevertheless, that applies to us, man. The Lord said in Jeremiah the 7th chapter, when He brought us out of Egypt, He didn't command burnt offerings, but that we would obey His voice. And part of obeying the Lord is listening to your brothers, man. That's something that brothers told me, like, you know, take more advice from brothers and listen to what they're telling you. You know what I'm saying? And realize it's not just your brother, but it's a man of the Lord, which is another microphone of the Lord. So when you come around the mic, you know what I'm saying? You walk into a place and, you know, the person on stage about to speak into the mic, you just gonna start talking, man. You're gonna sit there and listen. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, you know, Scripture say be swift to hear, slow to speak. You know, that's something I try to, you know, work on too. The first day I'm long-winded. You know what I'm saying? So we all got our, you know, shortcomings, man. I got this precept for you. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 18 and verse 20. It says, "Before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy." You see what I'm saying? So before the judgment comes, you know, we're supposed to look at ourselves too, because that's where it starts. That's who's going to get judged. That person that you look in the mirror going to go before the throne, man. You know? And that's something to think about too. It's going to say, all shall appear before the judgment. I was just going there. Yeah, that's the spirit, bro. I was like, you better not be going there. That was the spirit. I'm going there. Yeah, you go right there, man. They see, but that's incorporated with the title too. New year, same judgment. We're going to have to go before the Lord and get our judgment, man. Yeah. You know what? Just another perspective on that title.
This is 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of the Mashiach, that everyone may receive the thing done in his body, according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. And that's exactly what's coming, man. Some are going to receive the black stone, right? Which that black stone is symbolic for what? Right? Receiving, right, that due justice, that due judgment, right, for your actions, right? Because Scripture say we've all committed sins worthy of death, man. You know? But there's a flip side to it, man. The Lord is balanced, right? Because there are some men that He has raised up that have done great atrocities in the world, man. You know? And follow after the ways of the world as well. And yet the Lord is going to have mercy on them. They're going to receive the opposite, right? Which is the white stone. You know? Scriptures talk about in King David, right? Psalm 32nd chapter, blessed is he, right, whom the Lord hath not imputed sin unto. So there has to be a group of people, right, that has to be forgiven. Just as we're taught speaking on those who don't take heed, those that don't listen to the message, you're going to receive the black stone. There's a flip side to it, man. The Lord is going to have a group of men, right, and their families, right, men, women, and children, right, that receive the white stone. That's right. That's right. You know, and Lord will, we can be part of that number. You know, but we're striving to receive that white stone, man. You know, this is why we have to take heed not only to the message that we're preaching, right, in order to make sure we're speaking the correct doctrine, plucking the right strings, but also the doctrine that our brother sitting next to us is speaking, right, which is ultimately the same doctrine, right, which means, guess what? You're basically taking heed to the words, right, that the Lord is having you speak, and the Lord is having this brother speak. Man, the brother made a beautiful point that we're all like microphones, man. Yeah, you know, or we're all like speakers, so to speak. Right? The Lord has the microphone, and He's speaking through us, man, like one of those bullhorns. Right. You know, you speak the little thing, and the bullhorn speak. Right. You know, so you gotta listen. It's loud and clear. Yeah. You know, just like we're being, man. Don't be a hypocrite. Take heed to the message, man. You know, the Lord's not only using you just to speak through you, right? But for you to listen and take heed and grow as well.
Yeah, that's part of that's the scriptures say they that preach the gospel should also live by the gospel, man. Because that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? It's it's one thing to do videos and get your studies in, but really always being a good brother, but just when nobody's around. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you? You know what I mean? How is your mind? Are you praying? Are you fasting? Are you really living this thing, man? Because we all gonna be judged. And the Lord said, therefore, Israel will judge you according to your ways. You know what I'm saying? The Lord gonna judge every nook and cranny of your spirit. You know what I'm saying? And how you move while you are on this earth. That's why Apostle Paul said, pass the time of your sojourning here in fear. Okay? That's what we're always gonna push, man, because that's really a commandment. But that's what the Lord requires. Because if you, by default, if you fear the Lord, Scripture say, the fear of the Lord driveth away sins. You ain't gonna be living like these people, man. Especially seeing everything that's going on. You see the finish line, but you start walking. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna sacrifice so much to get to this point, but now you see the finish line, but you start fucking walking, man. Knowing there's people behind you to take your place. Because that's how it is, man.
And
waiting to. Somebody just would love to have the problems that you have, to show their faith. You see what I'm saying? What Scripture said, angels desire to look to the things that we do. First Peter, the first chapter, the angels would marvel at the things we do, man. They wish they could come down here and put on our skin and suffer for the Lord, man. As crazy as that sounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's being grateful too for this truth. Just making that point, you got it, bro. Oh, God, what have you grabbed last?
I think it was it's like we just kind of throwing this fear. I kind of forgot.
Oh no, yeah, you good. Could you grab I think you can grab it in here. Psalm 32 and let's see, verse 7. You got there?
Yeah.
I'm kind of selecting. Can you get verse 6 to NT?
Okay.
Oh, sure.
This is Psalms chapter 32 and verse 6 NLT. Therefore, let all the godly pray to you while there is still time, that they may not drown in the floodwaters of judgment.
You see that? And that's what's coming. Like he said, let those that are godly pray to the Most High, man. That's the time we're in now to praise the Lord. But what did Yahweh Shai say? The time is coming, and now is when the true worshipers shall worship the Most High. Yahweh Shai in spirit and truth. You know what I'm saying? Praise the Lord, man, and spend the time that we have now to make the best use of it to get better in the eyes of the Lord, man. Just to get better in all aspects, right before you get drowned, right in the flood waters of judgment, man. Because that's why I said while there's still time. Time is running out. The last thing you want is to have a guilty mindset going into the worst time known in history, in all of creation. You see? But unless you got anything else you want to add.
No, that's good.
Come. You see what I'm saying? So hey, for you believers, man, just continue to keep your eyes on Yahweh Shem Shai. And hey, keep your head in this book, man. You see what I'm saying? Because this is where we get our power from. When you detach from this, you get weak. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's pride too. The scripture say the beginning of pride is when one departed from his maker. You know what I'm saying? So don't do that, man. But cleave unto him. You know what I'm saying? Cleave unto your brother too. You know what I'm saying? What the Lord who said that? My brother's keeper.
Yeah.
Cain, wicked as hell. Well, love your brother, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to see our brother make it? Shit. Hey, if you want to make it, you want to see your brother make it too, man.
Hey, well, that's why the brother, man, the brother Kasagi, man, beautiful brother, man, for that LA camp. You know what I mean? He's been over here, man, for a little bit. And he's always mentioning, the top 2 commandments, man. Lord placed all the laws on those 2. Right? Number 1 being what? Yeah. Love the Lord, right? With all that mind, body, and spirit, right? And then what? To love thy neighbor as thyself, man. And neighbor's not just going into anybody, your next fucking, you know what I mean? No, it's going into your brothers, man.
Yeah. The scriptures say do good, but especially to them with a household of faith.
That's right.
Especially, there was like a clear difference that was made. The line drawn in the sand, man. And that, I think it was one of the elders was mentioning that earlier in the video I was watching. Basically, like brothers should be trying to get together more. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why, again, the microphones of the Lord, there's a reason why the brothers are saying that, because it's all through the spirits that the Lord wants. Right? See what it says in Hebrews the 10th chapter, seeing that day draw closer, you draw closer. You know what I mean? All we got, man. You see? And it's going to be evident in that when we're labeled terrorists and we're put on wanted lists all over the internet for being these terrible people. You know what I mean? We're gonna see who, you know, who's really for us. We know the world's against us, man. You see, that's why we say, hey, Bob or ball, man.
Bob the ball.
You know, kind of late on that. On site. See what
That's right.
You know, hey, with that, we hope.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right, you know what I'm saying? God, hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to all you believers, man. You walk off when you know Wahakian that tuned in. Before we close out, as always, I'd like to give all the praise, honor, and infinite glory unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash.
Shalom and double honors to the elder apostle, great meals, our teachers. Shalom to all you believers, man. Keep pushing, keep enduring. Until next time, we say Shalom, Kwame Yasha'Allah, and a Bible ball. Shalom.